Hello, my amazing friend. There is a truth that many people avoid, not because it's hidden, but because it's uncomfortable. It does not arrive with noise. It does not chase you down. Instead, it stands in silence, waiting to be noticed. And when it is finally seen, it changes everything. That truth is simple, yet powerful. Discipline is freedom, not a punishment, not a prison, not a sacrifice, but the very force that separates a life of regret from a life of meaning. Most people want freedom. They say they want peace, success, health, purpose, and control over their lives. But when they're offered the path that leads there, a path of consistency, structure, and sacrifice, they hesitate. Why? Because the path doesn't feel easy. Because it demands effort. Because it doesn't give pleasure right away. And so, they run back to comfort, unaware that every step away from discipline is a step deeper into chaos. In a world filled with distractions, discipline looks like a limitation. People confuse freedom with doing whatever they want, whenever they feel like it. They scroll endlessly, eat without thought, sleep without routine, and expect fulfillment to simply appear. But it never does, because when there is no discipline, there is no direction. And when there is no direction, life becomes noise. The days blur together. The goals fade. The purpose weakens. And deep inside, a quiet voice begins to whisper, "You were meant for more than this." That voice, my friend, is not your enemy. It is your warning. It is the sound of your potential being buried under the weight of your own choices. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being committed. It is about making the decision every day to show up even when you don't feel like it, to keep promises to yourself even when no one else is watching, to rise again and again in a world that tells you to lie down. There will always be excuses. There will always be distractions. There will always be a voice telling you to take it easy. But freedom is not found in the easy way. It is found in the path that demands more and gives back even more in return. A disciplined life is not one of suffering. It is one of clarity. When you are disciplined, you don't waste time. You don't second-guess yourself. You don't chase temporary highs because you're building something real. You begin to see progress, not from luck, but from intention. The truth is, everyone pays a price. If you choose discipline, you pay the price of effort, sacrifice, and discomfort. But if you avoid discipline, you pay the price of regret, anxiety, and wasted potential. One is hard now. The other is hard forever. And the people who learn this early, who understand that discipline is not their enemy, but their greatest ally, are the ones who build lives that others admire. The body you want, it comes from discipline. The business you dream of, it's built through discipline. The inner peace you long for, it is protected by discipline. Nothing valuable is created without it. Nothing lasting is achieved without it. And yet, society tells you to chase motivation, to wait until you're inspired. But inspiration fades. Motivation dies. Feelings change. What doesn't change, what holds you steady, is the system you build through discipline. It is waking up when the alarm rings. It is finishing what you start. It is doing what is right, even when no one will know. These things don't feel magical at first, but over time, they shape who you are. They form a person who does not crumble under pressure, who does not chase approval, who does not need to escape their own thoughts. A disciplined mind is a free mind. It is not ruled by impulse. It does not beg for comfort. It creates peace because it is focused, trained, and steady. Without discipline, you become a slave to your feelings. You eat when you're sad. You quit when you're tired. You wait for the right time, which never comes. But with discipline, you become powerful. You act, not because you feel ready, but because you made a decision. You grow, not because life is easy, but because you refuse to stay small. Discipline turns your pain into strength, your fear into focus, and your habits into weapons of progress. It is not something you're born with. It is something you build, and anyone can build it if they're willing to stop running from the truth. Look at the most successful people in any area of life, in health, in business, in relationships, in creativity. They are not always the most talented. They're not always the smartest, but they're disciplined. They do the work. They show up consistently. They fall, but they do not stay down. They face challenges, but they do not break. Why? Because discipline is not just an action. It is a mindset, a lens through which you see the world. When you're disciplined, your goals are not dreams. They are plans. Your time is not wasted. It is invested. Your energy is not scattered. It is aimed. And here's the part no one tells you. The more disciplined you become, the easier life feels. Not because the work disappears, but because you're no longer fighting yourself. You're no longer starting over every week. You're no longer haunted by guilt. You wake up with purpose. You move with focus. You sleep with peace. This is the kind of life discipline gives you. Not flashy, not dramatic, but deeply powerful, quietly strong, completely yours. So why do people avoid it? Because it forces them to take ownership. It removes the ability to blame others. It demands honesty. It reveals how much time has been wasted. But in that honesty, there is hope. Because when you finally accept that your life is your responsibility, you are no longer a victim. You become the author. And discipline is the pen. There will be mornings when you don't want to get up. There will be days when your body aches, when your mind complains, when your heart doubts. And in those moments, you will face a choice. Give in to comfort or rise with discipline. Every time you choose discipline, you become a little stronger, a little clearer, a little more unstoppable. Over time, that choice becomes automatic. And eventually, the things that once felt hard become a part of who you are. Discipline is not a temporary tool. It is a lifestyle, a quiet force that protects your time, your health, your mind, your mission. It teaches you to respect yourself, to act in alignment with your highest self, even when your lowest habits call out to you. It is not exciting, but it is powerful. It is not fast, but it is unstoppable. And it is not for everyone. Only those who are ready to stop hiding from the truth. Because the truth is this: if you do not choose discipline, you are choosing distraction. If you do not build habits, your habits will build you. If you do not control your mind will control you. And if you do not create structure, your life will fall into disorder. No one escapes this reality. You either live with the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The first pain is temporary. The second pain lasts forever. So, what kind of life do you want to live? Want a quiet progress? Of steady growth? Of deep respect for yourself? Or one of constant guilt, wasted days, and unfulfilled potential? The choice is not made once. It is made every day, in the small decisions, in the quiet hours, in the moments when no one is watching. Discipline gives you something motivation cannot control. Control over your emotions. Control over your actions. Control over your future. It does not eliminate failure, but it eliminates chaos. It does not guarantee success, but it guarantees movement. And it is in that movement, day by day, brick by brick, that a new life is built. Do not wait for inspiration. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Do not wait for someone else to push you. Be the one who begins. Be the one who decides. Be the one who chooses discipline again and again until it becomes your freedom. Because the greatest gift you can give yourself is control over yourself. That is what discipline is. Not punishment, but protection. Not control, but creation. Not slavery, but sovereignty. It is the foundation beneath every great story, every great leader, every great life. And it is waiting for you right now. All you have to do is stop avoiding it.